different shadows. Let us take an example. When a source is a point source, in this case, the source is a point source and this is an opaque body. And when this is an opaque body, the body is bigger compared to the source. Then the complete shadow, the shadow is completely dark. This shadow is completely dark. As a result, we call this part as umbra. It's called an umbra. In the other case, if the source is, this is the object, opaque body, and this is the source of light, and here we are taking two rays. One ray is straight, going like this. This is a straight ray, and this is another ray we are taking. So, my dear friends, in this area the shadow is dark, but in this area the shadow is not totally dark, it is partially dark. So, this partially darker area we call it as penumbra. Even this you just go and stand in the sun or any near the light, you can see your own shadow. In the shadow you can see the dark part of the shadow and the light part of the shadow. The dark part of the shadow we call it as umbra, and the light part of the shadow where this partial light is there, that part is called a penumbra. I think now you got an idea about what is umbra and what is penumbra. Now, in this case, the source is bigger than the size of the object. Here the object is smaller. The object is small. The source is big. The source of light is big compared to the object. In this case, what is that you observe is, these two rays are the first coming straight line. Every ray is represented by a straight line because light always travels in a straight line. Here what you observe is, the umbra portion is less, but the penumbra portion is more. In this case, the source is smaller compared to that of the object. As a result, the portion is more, the penumbra is less. So that depends on the size of the source of the light and size of the opaque object. Okay, let us now have a discussion about what is lunar eclipse and what is solar eclipse. Now, during the time of eclipse, what is the meaning of eclipse? Already all the children know about eclipse, that is the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse. Before we start this, I would like to give you a project, a small project. I request all the students, please try to do this project. Do this project. Don't depend on any other external material. Please, you do by yourself. Try to observe the moon every day in the morning, in the night. You observe the moon, you observe the sun, both moon and sun, and observe the stars. In the night time, come outside just to see. When there is no cloud in the sky, you can see the clear sky. So please try to observe the sun. When you observe a sun, throughout the year, this experiment you do for 365 days, means one complete year you do it. Means every Sunday you spend 5 minutes time or 2 minutes time or 1 minute time, and you'll find out, for example, your house is located in some point. Around your house you may have some trees or plants or whatever other houses or a tower or something will be there, difference will be there. See the position, put the date, on which date you started your observation, put the date. You are a scientist when you are doing this experiment. And see the location, where the sun is located you see. You just put some kind of, for you to understand, you put some kind of reference. Maybe a tree or maybe some kind of reference landmark, whatever you have there. After 1 month you see, the sun will be shifting, the position will be shifting, you observe it. And after 1 month again you see, after 1 month again you see, after 1 month again you see, again you see. Like that, you see the moment, the position, the sun rising position will be different on different months. The position will be, slight difference will be there. Please try to observe this. And you can observe the shift towards south and again from south towards north. You observe this. Dakshinayana and Uttarayana. You can observe this and just stand outside the home. See that you are standing before the sun. The sun, you are facing the sun. So sun rises in the east. Try to locate the north, south and east, west indication is just I am trying to give you a clue how to. So you are standing before the sun, facing the sun. That is, sun rises in the east. That is the east direction. Sun is rising in the east direction, and sun is setting in the west direction. Now you got the two directions. Now you came to know what is north, what is east and west. Sun rises in the east, sun sets in the west. Now when you are facing towards the sun, you just stretch your two arms. Your left hand shows the direction of north. Your left hand shows the direction of north. Please try to remember this. Now you can identify what is the north for your place. Your right hand shows the direction of south. Now you understood how to identify east, west, north and south. For identifying this, your sun will be guiding you. And the corners, generally when north, south, east, west are there. This is a north, south, east, west are there. We call this corner as northeast, northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest. We have another four corners. Northeast. So the corner which is towards north and east, we call that this is our northeast. And this is our southeast. That is our, this is the north and that is the west. So this becomes the northwest. That becomes that is a west and this is a south. So that becomes a southwest. So in that way you can understand the four corners, the four directions and also the four corners. Now you understood how to identify. Please identify in your own location these four directions. You should know the direction. Okay. Next. Now this is another experiment you are doing. Observe from Sankranti you start doing the observation from Sankranti onwards. Right from Sankranti onwards start your, otherwise you can start right now and you can observe at the juncture of Sankranti what is happening, you observe. There is a shift till then it is moving towards, and that is a shift over time where the sun is starting moving the opposite end. This is a shift over. We celebrate that shift as Sankranti. That is an important. See, Dakshinayana is shifting to Uttarayana. So that shift over time is we are celebrating that time. So my dear friends, please try to observe sun every day in the morning, and not every day, at least once in a week, every Sunday. Keep it as 2 minutes or 5 minutes time you take for this. Every Sunday, keep a notebook, put the date, put the month and put your observations. Put a diagram, graphical representation and do an experiment. You will understand it. So now you came to know what is Dakshinayana and what is Uttarayana. Ask your parents and find it out. Ask your grandparents, they will tell much better. They will tell you what is the importance of that also. Ask them the stories about these two. Ask them the story of the Bhishma Ekadasi. You tell them, you discuss with them. And now, my dear friends, now you start observing the moon every day. This you do it for 1 month. Observe the moon every day for 1 month. Come outside, start your observation on Paurnami anyway, anytime, any day of your wish. See, if you started from Amavasya, we call it as new moon day. New moon day. On Amavasya, you can't see the moon. You can't see the moon. On Paurnami, you can see the full size moon. And you try to observe from Amavasya. Daily the size of the moon will be gradually increasing, gradually increasing, gradually increasing. By the time the Paurnami comes, fully it will be. The full moon you can see. And again from Paurnami it will be continuously depleting and again coming to Amavasya, completely depleted. Moon is completely depleted. 1 month you put an observation on your book. This you observe the moon for 1 month, observe the sun for 1 year. This is a small experiment. Please try to do this experiment. My dear friends, everybody can do it without the help of any telescope, because we can see it without any help of any telescope. Now my dear friends, here I would like to discuss something. You observe the calendar and you see most of our festivals are depending on the position of the sun and the moon. on which day you are getting, what is the position of the moon, is it an Ekadasi, is it a full moon day, is it a new moon day? Just discuss with your grandparents if possible, or parents, or someone who is available for you. You have a list of festivals with you. It is not that the festival that is important. For us physics, that is the location of the sun and the moon. What is the position? That is important. Let us see the festival with a scientific tempo. So my dear friends, spirituality and science are not separate, they are combined together. So my dear friends, let us see on a full moon day. On a full moon day, what is happening on a full moon day? Let us see what is happening on a full moon day. Why? See, every day the moon is changing its shape, but the sun is not changing the shape. Sun is always spherical, but moon is changing the shapes. So what is the reason behind it? You question to yourself and you think to yourself, this is the sun. Just imagine that this is the sun. Sun is comparatively, it is very huge in size, and this is the earth. Please try to understand why we are seeing the different shapes. And this is the moon. This is the moon. Please try to understand the difference. The sunlight is falling on the moon. See, on a full moon day, observe the sun is setting in the west and the moon is rising in the east position. Observe the position. See, the sunlight is completely falling on the moon, and you are standing here. You are able to see the illuminated part of the face. See, this part is getting light and this part is not getting light. The sunlight, it is a self-luminous body. These two are non-luminous bodies. This light is falling on this, and this face is completely illuminated with the sunlight. And you are standing here, you are able to see this face where it is completely illuminated. So my dear friends, this is a full moon day. This is what is happening on a full moon day. On a full moon day, almost the sun, the earth, moon, almost are all in the same straight line. They are all in the same straight line. And my dear friends, try to understand the distance between the sun and the earth is 150 million kilometers. 150 million kilometers. Whereas the distance between the earth and the moon is nearly about 3,80,000 kilometers. 3,80,000 kilometers, nearly, I am not taking the accurate. So these two are very close to each other. Compare to them. These two are very close to each other. And not only close to each other, these two, earth and moon is the natural satellite. Moon is the natural satellite for the earth. These two are combined togetherly, we call it as one system. When it is moving around, try to understand, my dear friends, try to understand, this is one side and this is one side of, try to imagine, this is one side of the earth, one side is the moon, this complete is one system. The system will be moving like this. Around the sun it will be moving like this. Means this system is continuously moving around the sun. Moon is not separately moving, earth is not separately. These two are togetherly moving and going around the sun. I think you might have understood. And it takes 1 year time for completion of one rotation. Now my dear friends, now you understood these two. Compared to the earth, 1/4 is the size of the moon, nearly. 1/4 is the size of the moon. So if this is 1 rupee, this is 25 MB. So this is very small, 1/4 of the size of this. So now what is happening? All these three are coming on a almost the same straight line on a full moon day. On a full moon day, the earth is in between the sun and the moon. So my dear friends, on that day, if you go to the ocean shore, the tides in the ocean, you might have seen, when you go to the ocean shore, you will be seeing the tides in the ocean. The height of the tides are increasing on that day. That shows that the energy is more in the environment. Because the gravitational force is there between the sun and earth. The gravitational force is there between the earth and the moon. These two are coming in a same straight line. The resultant force is maximum on that day. The net force is maximum on that day. That is the reason why that day, mostly in our culture, we celebrate these days. You just see the calendar of the festivals. You see many festivals come very near to the Paurnami. On Paurnami days, you see many festivals will be there. And every Paurnami must be celebrated, my dear friends, because that is a strong day. That is the most energetic day. On that day, the cosmic energy is more, and on that day we have to energize ourselves. So, my dear friends, now you understood this. And every full moon day need not be an eclipse day, but please try to understand, the lunar eclipse occurs. What is the meaning of the lunar eclipse? Lunar eclipse is nothing but the shadow of the earth is falling on the moon. If the shadow of the earth falls on the moon, that is the lunar eclipse. So, the lunar eclipse always occurs on a full moon day. Always occurs on a full moon day. So, on that day, the sunlight is falling on the earth and the earth's shadow is seen on the moon. That is the only day where you can see the shadow of the earth. The rest of the time you can't see the shadow of the earth. The only day where you can see the shadow of the earth is on a lunar eclipse day. On that day, the full moon, the bright moon will become dark colored, because that dark color is nothing but the shadow of the earth. So, my dear friends, any eclipse, especially during the time of eclipse, along with the normal rays which reach the earth, even the other powerful rays, the ultraviolet and the different rays will be passing into the earth's atmosphere. That is the reason why on the eclipse days, auspicious things will not be done. Auspicious things will not be done, and during the time of the eclipse, especially the temples will be closed, and even the pregnant ladies will not be let outside, because the rays are not that good for them. Even farmers will not send the cows outside. We have a tradition. Even at that time we don't eat, we don't cook at that time, and we cook after the eclipse is finished. We clean it and we have a great tradition. This also I request the children, please ask your grandparents. They will tell you the tradition. There is a great tradition is there. Every different parts of the country follows different traditions are there. You please try to get that information from your parents, from your better grandparents. I think now you understood about the lunar eclipse. So that is, any full moon day is a celebrated day, my dear friends. Energetic day. You should not waste the time. Better you spend time for yourself on that day. And the next is, let us see what is the, let us see what is the solar eclipse. And solar eclipse is nothing but the system is moving. The system is moving. Now my dear, before we see the solar eclipse, now it is like this. Now the moon is like this. The first day, open the calendar and see Pradama, Dvitiya, Tritiya, Chaturthi, and Panchami, Shashti, Saptami, Ashtami, Navami, Dasami. Dasami means 10. Ekadasi. Eka means 1 plus 10. Ekadasi, Dwadasi, Trayodasi, Chaturdasi. Chatur means 4 plus 10. And again we have Amavasya. See, in that process, it is moving from year to year. All these things. Please try to know the names of these. Ask your grandparents, ask your parents. They will tell you what is what. You should know our culture. Please don't forget our culture. Science is important. Westernization is important. Our spirituality shouldn't go aside. And okay, now you came to know now the question I'm checking. On the Ekadasi. Ekadasi means 10 plus 1. Again, Ekadasis are special. See, once you are moving just like this, my dear friends, here what is happening is the size of the moon is continuously depleting. See, during the time of Ekadasi. Now please try to understand. There is a right angle triangle formed between the sun, moon and earth. They form a right angle triangle. 2 right angle triangles are formed. Means, see, when it is increasing and when it is depleting, we call it as depleting, we call it as Krishna Paksham, and increasing we call it as Shukla Paksham. Please try to know this also and write it on your book. So, my dear friends, Ekadasi, see, Paurnami and Amavasya, they are on straight lines. But Ekadasi, they are at right angle to each other. That also is an energetic day. You see the most of the festivals will be there on the Ekadasi. Means there is a 90 degrees angle between. You have a right angle triangle. Even then also the gravitational force is maximum. Okay. For example, this is the position. This is the position here we are. Here the moon is. We are standing here. This part is getting light. This part of the sun. This part of the moon is getting light from the sun. You are standing and you are seeing this part. Means half the part is illuminated and half the part is not illuminated. Really the moon is not changing its shape. But we are seeing half illuminated part and half non-illuminated part. That's all. So my dear friends, as a result we feel that it's an apparent change. It's not a real change. Moon is not really changing its shape. It's an apparent change. So in that way you can see the shape of the moon will be different. Now as you are coming here, so when in this particular position what happens is, now the moon is taking place between the sun and the earth. Now sun is, this part of the moon is getting light. This part of the moon is getting light from the sun. But you are standing here and you are seeing the dark part. You are not able to see the lighted part. You are seeing the dark part. So that day we call it as Amavasya, new moon day. That day is the shifter of the month. According to our Telugu months, that is the shifting of the month. So my dear friends, this Amavasya is also a powerful day. Powerful day, very powerful day. Many festivals comes out even on this day also. Not only the festival. You just see at my home I will be observing, my mother will be in the hot summer. She will be drying all the grain. She dries the grain on the Amavasya day. When I asked her, she told that when you dry the grains on that Amavasya day, throughout the year, you will not get infected. The insects cannot touch them. That grain is having that much power. We have a lot of importance in our day-to-day life. The old people can tell this. You can ask your grandparents, they will be informing about many things will be there like that. So okay, on this day of Amavasya, see now, not all the Amavasyas, not all the new moon days are eclipse days, but some days are eclipse days. On that day, this light is falling on the moon and the moon's shadow is falling on the earth. Very small part will be dark on the earth. The rest of the area will be penumbra part. So partially we have the light, not totally dark. So my dear friends, in this way, the shadow of the moon falling on the earth gives rise to a solar eclipse. See my dear friends, solar eclipse also, we shouldn't see the sun directly with our naked eye. It's highly dangerous. So my dear friends, we have to use some kind of filter glasses. Simply we shouldn't go and see the sun and see the moon and start enjoying. The rest of the life we cannot enjoy. So we must be careful in handling that. So my dear friends, now you got an idea about what is a lunar eclipse and what is a solar eclipse and the nature. See, we are all living in this nature and we must be in resonance with the nature. We must try to understand the nature. Thank you very much. Thank you. You can take it. Thank you. Okay, now you understood about the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse. So friends, let us see the small topic, that is a pinhole camera. You have a small, you can do it at home for yourself. Take a small box where you have a small hole for it, and this light which is passing from this object just passes through this hole. If the size of the hole is big, you cannot get the image. So this is passing through the pinhole and finally you are getting the object here. Let's have a small discussion about the periscope. In this periscope, where do we use this periscope? Mostly this is used by the soldiers. In this periscope, the principle is reflection of light. Here this is one tube, this is another tube, and this is another tube. The light is entering like this, so object is here. Here is object. Here is object. The light is entering like this, and here is a mirror. This is a mirror which is placed at an angle of 45 degrees. Because it is placed at an angle of 45 degrees, and this is the normal angle of incidence, angle of reflection. So it is going straight. Again it is getting instant here. This is again another plane mirror which is placed at an angle of 45 degrees. So my dear friends, again following the same rule, angle Here you feel that the object is coming from this point. So my dear friends, especially the periscope is used by the people who are working in the submarines. See, in the submarines, the enemy cannot see you. You are somewhere here. You are here. See, you are using this instrument. So you are hidden. With the help of this, you are able to see the object. Similarly, by the soldiers also. This is an instrument where we are using the principle of reflection of light. We are using 2 plane mirrors, 3 tubes. If 2 plane mirrors and 3 tubes are there, you can also do your periscope at home. Please, all of you can try to do this periscope at home. This is simply a small device which you can play with. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.